Everybody, it's Emily at ARC Schooling, and this is my last Game of Thrones review for this season 6. This is going to be my last season 6 review for episode 10, Winds of Winter. And am I the only one that hoped that at the end of the episode we would get a little flash of George R. Martin saying, "Winds of Winter is now released"? No, that didn't happen. And I was a little disappointed, but if you're going to name the episode Winds of Winter, give me a book. I need the book. I need it. Okay, so there was a lot going on in this episode. It almost sometimes felt like they were trying to shove everything they could into this episode, and I felt like some of it could have probably happened in other episodes and it would have felt less rushed or smushed. I don't know. Okay. But there was a lot of good stuff too. So probably the best thing that happened in this episode would have to be Cersei's Mad Queen episode in King's Landing, because oh my god, we have a Mad Queen. I knew this was going to happen. I mean, they've been kind of showing us all season the wildfire and giving hints that, this would be happening. So I kind of knew from the moment they said that there would no longer be any trial by combat that Cersei was going to blow up the Sept. It was going to happen. And so I was expecting it to be really a cool scene, and I was not disappointed. It was amazing. I'm a little sad to lose Marjorie just because I really like Natalie Dormer as an actress, and I always enjoyed her scenes, and there is no more Tyrells. So the Tyrell line is gone. I loved seeing Lancel being the one to see the wildfire and realize what was about to happen and not be able to stop it. I loved Cersei and Septa Unella, is that her name? The Septa who had tortured her. I loved that scene. That was so just perfect. But I was so sad to see Tommen leap out the window like that. And I'm like, and it's totally Cersei's fault, and she should have known. But she was so bent on her revenge quest that she totally dismissed the fact that her son is sitting there alone watching his wife be murdered, watching his mentor die, and realizing that he is now alone. But I think that seeing Cersei just so cold when she sees that Tommen's dead, I think that she'd kind of been preparing herself for that ever since Myrcella died. That's when she realized the prophecy was really happening, that it was really going to happen, that she was really going to lose all of her children. And you can kind of see throughout the season her scenes with Tommen. She's almost distant towards him, and she's pushing him away because she doesn't want to feel it anymore. She doesn't want to feel that loss. And so you could kind of see herself steeling herself towards that, but it was just that much more sad that she tried to prevent Tommen from dying, only to cause him to die. It was just, that's sort of the sad tragedy, that Tommen was good and pure and weak and didn't deserve what he got, but when your mom is Cersei Lannister, what are you going to do? So I loved the scene when she's being crowned and you see Jaime just oh crap, this is what's happening. And that's going to be amazing next season to see him reacting to her, and she even has a moment where she's confessing to Septa Unella all the things, and she talks about how she had sex with her brother because it felt good. She never says she loves him, because I don't think she ever did. Now, book Cersei, you can see the crazy all over the place. It's just so in your face, where in the show it was a lot more subtle, but book Cersei, I don't think Cersei ever loved anyone besides her children, because I think she loved being with Jaime because it made her feel more complete for herself. I feel like it's all about her and what she wants and what she feels. It has nothing to do with him. It's more of like her making herself more complete, if that makes any sense. I don't know. So I don't think she's ever loved him. I think it's more of like a power thing for her. And it was a gorgeous scene. Like the wildfire and the eruption of it, it was just perfection. I loved the quiet leading up to it. I loved just the fact that they knew they were trapped, that Marjorie knew what was happening, or not exactly. She didn't know exactly, but she had an inkling that something bad was about to happen. I love those looks between her and the High Sparrow. It just perfect. That scene was amazing. So then I want to go to Winterfell, because that was another big thing happening in this episode. I was so disappointed in the Melisandre Davos thing. I wanted some big thing to happen, and it was just sort of like, you have to leave. You're banished. What is that going to do? I felt like that was a cop-out, kind of. Like, I don't know. I feel like Melisandre's story has kind of been told. I don't know what else she could possibly do at this point. We have other people supporting Dany's claim, and she has her own red priestesses, and I don't feel like there's any reason for Melisandre to stay in the show. I feel like her story's done. She did what she needed to do, and I don't know why we didn't kill her off. I wanted to see some kind of cool, like, Lightbringer scene where, you know, he lops off her head and then his sword lights on fire and we have Azor Ahai. It would have been really cool, but I guess that's not happening. Maybe next season, I don't know. But it was just sort of like, oh, that's it? Okay. Alright, I guess. I really liked Littlefinger and Sansa's stuff. I love that he kind of finally said what he wants. Oh my god. We finally get to see a little bit of what his plan is. And somehow he sees himself on the Iron Throne. I don't know. I always kind of felt like he was more of a wanting to be the hand of the king. Like he wanted to maybe arrange some kind of marriage with Sansa and, I don't know, maybe Sweet Robin, and have them on the throne, and then he would just be like the puppet master behind them. I don't know how he sees himself on the throne. That doesn't quite work for me. I don't know, but I love that he at least admitted it, and that he sees him with her, and I love the looks he was giving her during the whole King of the North scene, and just, I don't know what kind of trouble he's going to cause next season, but I feel like he's still working Sansa, and that she's still just this much weak enough to fall under his thrall. But I do kind of love, I love his character. I love just charisma the actor brings. I love Littlefinger and what he's trying to do, and that he's always been sort of an enigma in the series, and you don't really know what his plan is or what he's trying to accomplish, but you see all the chaos he leaves in his wake, and I love that. I love the intrigue that he brings to this scene where you can see him just like try to convince Sansa that Jon Snow isn't worthy of being the King of the North. It should be the Queen in the North, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this all goes. But I just love the looks he was giving her. That he was like that cool guy leaning against the wall, like, yeah, this is dumb. Well, I don't know why anyone would go with this. Sansa, don't you realize? But yeah, I just love that. And then the whole King of the North thing. I did not see that coming. I kind of thought they would all rally behind Sansa over Jon, but of course not, because she's a girl and they're going to go with the man. But I don't know. I worry for Jon, though, because he's still so naive, and he doesn't really realize what this entails and what this is going to mean for him. And he has no idea. Like, the scene when this happened way back in, I guess it was at season 2 with Robb, naming him King of the North and all of that, and you can kind of see the panic on Catelyn's face and realizing that this may be bad. This may end badly for him, and she doesn't quite know what to do with it. But you can see just Jon's like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm King of the North. Woo! And like not realizing the consequences of this at all. And I don't know what are the consequences. Like what could happen here? who is he fighting against? I don't know what Cersei's plan is. I assume she would want to take over everything. She's already knocked out the Tyrells, already taken out anyone who could possibly stand against her in that part of the world, but like, she has no idea that Dany's coming. She has no idea what's going on in the north. Like, things are gonna, well, these little pieces are being set up on the chessboard, and I don't know how she's gonna react to this. Is she gonna send forces to the north and try to quell that? Or kill Jon Snow? I don't know where this is going, but you can kind of see there's a moment, a twinge of jealousy on Sansa's face when she's realizing that, oh, I loved my brother, I wanted him to have some power, but not this much power. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where it all goes. Elsewhere in Westeros, we had a lot of other little things happening all throughout the episode. My favorite being Arya and the Fray pies. I was so excited to see the Fray pies. That's one of my favorite little things that happens in the books. But it was supposed to be Wyman Manderly doing it, but I'll take Arya baking some Fray pies. That was so gross and so awesome. And just, I loved the reverse red wedding thing. I loved the scene with Jaime and Walder Frey and him just being like, you're pointless. There's no reason for you to have any power because we're just going to keep coming to rescue you and you're worthless. I loved that. I loved that smackdown that Jaime gave him. That was great. And Arya being the assassin, just love it. I wonder how many faces she's brought with her. Like, how did she manage that? Did she just take a whole bunch of faces before she left? That would be interesting to see, like, what she's gonna do with that. So I'm looking forward to that next season too. So then we have Lady Olenna and the Sand Snakes in Dorne, and this, as soon as I saw it was Dorne, I was like, oh damn it, Dorne again, like really? But I see this happening is that Varys is setting up Dorne to side with Dany because she needs allies, and he said he was going to Westeros to get some allies for Dany, and so he's got Dorne, he's got Lady Olenna, who no longer has a family, which is sad. She's the last of the Tyrells, I guess. In the books, there's 2 other brothers, so, you know, Loras dying wouldn't have been a huge ordeal. Lady Olenna is it. There is no one else, and she's looking for some revenge, so I guess she's going to side with Dany. And so, I don't know, Varys can apparently teleport because he was also right back. The timeline of this episode was confusing. Like, I don't understand when things are happening. And that's always been a problem with this show, I think, is that there's no, like, we don't know when things are actually happening. How much time has actually passed from season 1 to season 6? It's not 6 years. In the books, it's only like, I think 2 or 3 years have passed. But I don't understand the time frames here because Varys is there in Dorne after what's happened in King's Landing. So does that mean what happened in King's Landing happened weeks ago? And it's just, I don't understand the timing of anything. So it just appears that Varys can now teleport himself wherever. He has Littlefinger's capabilities of travel, and so does Arya. She got there really fast too. But again, did she? How long ago did that happen? Like, I don't know the time frame. So Sam makes it to Old Town with the sword, and he brings Gilly in. Like, I don't know what he thought he was going to do there. Just set her up at a tavern somewhere. I don't know why he brought her in. Like he knew she wasn't going to be allowed to come in. But I love the moment he's looking at the library. It's sort of like a Beauty and the Beast moment where it's just like, look at all the books. Ah! And you could see him about to cry. I love that. I love that Sam is just that excited to see so many books. It was just a cool scene. And again, like, timing here. To become a maester, it's not like when you go to college and you finish your degree in a couple of years. This is a long process. He has a lot of things he has to learn. So I don't know if Sam's actually going to get to become a full-on maester, or if he's just going to, like, find out information and then send it back to the wall and hope that, like, he can somehow find information on stopping the others. But I don't know if he's going to find enough information. I don't know, because the Maesters are very anti-magic, anti-occult. That's why Qyburn got kicked out, that they just don't agree with any of that stuff. They don't like magic. They don't want to believe it's happening. They just keep wanting to stomp that down. No, there's no others. No, there's no giants. No, the children of the forest have been dead for forever. And they don't want to admit to any of the magic. So I don't know if he's actually going to be able to find anything about the others in Old Town, even though they have so many books. But I don't know. I'm interested to see what he does find. But that was just a nice little short scene so we can finally see what Sam's been doing. I'm disappointed that we haven't seen his father coming after him. You know he's gonna. He's got the sword. He knows where Sam was going. So it's only a matter of time before he storms the citadel and takes back his sword. We have Bran. I've been waiting all season for this. In the Tower of Joy. And I knew, we all knew what was going to happen. And it's not really a surprise. R plus L equals J. I think at this point we all know that that was going to happen. That obviously Rhaegar and Lyanna are the parents of Jon Snow. I wish that she didn't whisper. I couldn't tell what she was saying. I'm going to have to rewatch the scene again and see if I can decipher it. But I'm assuming it had something to do with, this is my baby with Rhaegar and you need to protect him from Robert because he's going to try to kill him. Robert Baratheon hated the Targaryens. He hated any Targaryen children. He wanted them all dead. He wanted there to be no Targaryens. And so obviously Ned had to hide baby Jon away, whose name I know isn't John. What was she saying? It sounded like something that started with an A, but I couldn't quite decipher it. And I need to know. So whatever. He named him Jon Snow to protect him, and who is going to tell Jon this information? Like, who knows? I always assume Benjen knew, and that's why he joined the Night's Watch, because he had a lot of guilt about what happened. I believe that there's hints in the books that Benjen helped Lyanna to go off on her little trysts with Rhaegar, but that he felt guilty about it and then joined the Night's Watch and sort of like hid himself away from anyone who might ask questions. But I don't know, Benjen never said anything to Bran about it. So, and he's not coming across the wall yet, because I still think the wall's coming down. So I guess Bran could tell him, but who's his authority? He has no authority here. He can't be the one to be like announcing Jon Snow's actually Jon Targaryen. Who's going to believe him? So, who knows? Howland Reed is the only person alive that was there. So, obviously Howland Reed knows. But where is Howland Reed? Why have we not seen him? He needs to come out of the woodwork and do this announcement. He's in the north still. I don't think he's actually left his home. He sent Jojen and Mira to go help Bran, but he never did anything himself. So I'm really hoping that we get a Howland Reed, because who else knows? I mean, there's hints of people that might have some inkling, like Littlefinger obviously knows that Lyanna wasn't kidnapped and raped, but somehow Jon has to find out. Let's just go to Meereen and wrap this up. So Dany has told Daario he can't come. She can't bring him because he would be a liability for her. So he's going to stay behind in Meereen and make sure that everything goes smoothly, that no one tries to rise up again and make it a Slaver's Bay. I like that she renamed it Dragon Bay. That's kind of cool, because it can't be Slaver's Bay anymore. I love the scene with Dany and Tyrion. He names him Hand of the Queen, which was just adorable and awesome, and I love it. I love that he gets to do that again. He really did well as Hand of the King. Like in season 2, you could see that he really shines at this. This is what he's gifted at. So I really like that that's what he's going to get to do from now on. That he's going to be her hand. And I loved seeing all the ships sailing out, and the Dothraki are setting sail across the poisoned water. It's happening. And that she's just got all her armies and all her dragons flying. Like, And she's obviously heading for Dorne because that's where Varys has set her up. And seeing Varys standing behind her, I'm like, how did you get there? How did that happen? So, I mean, obviously he left well before Meereen was sieged. At least a week or two before, I would assume. So does that mean that Cersei blowing up the Sept happened before the siege of Meereen? What is the timeline? I don't know. So, okay. Overall, I really enjoyed the season. There was a lot of really great stuff happening. And a lot of, like, chess pieces being laid out on the board. And things being built up to happen. So I'm really pleased with how the season went. I'm disappointed that we're getting shorter seasons from now on. I really hope that somehow that changes. I feel like there's enough happening that they could easily get another 20 episodes, but that's just me. Maybe if the book comes out and they have some more material to work with, I don't know, maybe that could happen. What am I looking forward to next season? I'm looking forward to Cersei's Mad Queen stuff happening. I see that Jaime is going to have to kill her. He's already had to kill one Mad King. He knows what he has to do. You could see that look on his face like, this is not good. What's happening here is bad. I'm going to have to kill my sister. And it's tragic for him because he actually does love her. And she is just so empty and far gone at this point that I don't see any other ending for her. Unless Arya kills her, which could also happen because Arya is on her vengeance quest and Cersei's name is still on her list. So maybe Arya is going to go on her vengeance quest and start just picking off people, but I don't see how she's going to take out the mountain. Maybe that's how Arya dies. I don't know. I don't know that she's ever going to survive the whole thing, being that she's on this murder quest. That's only going to go badly for her. But I kind of still see Jaime taking out Cersei and then killing himself, because how can he possibly live with himself after he's killed the one person he loves? He has no one left. Unless Brienne comes and, convinces him that she is still here, that he could live for her. I don't know. That's just my fangirling, shipping Brienne and Jaime thing. Obviously, we're going to see Dany landing in Dorne and working her way up through Westeros and just smacking down enemies left and right, because I don't actually see that many people standing against her. I think most people are going to see Cersei as a bad queen and a threat to them, and I think that they're going to not want to stand behind her. And they're probably all going to line up behind Dany. I don't really see too many people fighting against her. I actually think she's going to have a smooth transition working her way through. Also see, we're definitely going to see the wall come down. I'm still convinced that that mark that Bran has on his arm that allowed the White Walkers to come into the Heart Tree, I think that is going to be the same thing that brings the wall down. And he doesn't know. I mean, you heard that Benjen said that there's still magic in the wall that prevents him coming through. But if he walks through with that mark on his arm, is that going to just take the whole wall down? I still think it is. I think we're going to see the wall fall, and no one's really going to be able to stop it. I mean, if the wall comes down, that's going to take down Castle Black. Night's Watch squashed. Who's going to be standing against them? We got the armies in the north preparing for this, but are they really ready? I don't know. I think if Dany gets there in time with her Dothraki and her Unsullied and her dragons, we might stand a chance against the Long Night and the others. And we did see in the episode the White Ravens being released from the Citadel to announce this is winter. Winter isn't coming. Winter is here. We're going to see what happens because of that. What did you think of the finale? What did you think of the season overall? Did you enjoy it? What do you want to talk about? There's so many things happening. What was your favorite scene in the finale? I was still standing by the Sept being blown up. That was amazing. So thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to talking more about Game of Thrones next year when we finally get to find out what happens. But if the books come out sooner, I'm going to be reviewing that, and I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!